Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunday Summary. It's been a few weeks. I'm Kyle. I see I even forgot how to do the opening, bro. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. Steve, how you doing this morning, man?
Good morning. I'm doing well. It has been a while. It's been too long. But, we were both traveling a little bit and then the thing with Diogo Jota happened, so we didn't think it was too appropriate to chat about that. And I think it's probably a good place to start is just address that elephant in the room about Diogo Jota. Here at Nothing But Reds, along with everybody else across the globe, we're obviously heartbroken. Um, Not many words to describe what happened or what his family must be feeling or everyone associated with him, but obviously wishing them nothing but the best. It's a tragedy that we are just absolutely shocked by. And I don't think we're qualified to really talk on it too much other than to just express, of course, our condolences. Not that anyone associated to him would ever watch this, but our sincerest condolences to everyone associated to him, to the club, to his family. And over time, I think we'll share, good memories we've had of Diogo Jota and all the awesome goals he scored, things that he could do that not many other people on our team could do, is just pull a goal out of nowhere. Um, so yeah, him and his brother, the passing of them is really just an awful, awful tragedy. And if you guys want, as we continue the show here, leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite Diogo Jota moment was, and we can remember him a bit that way.
I like that a lot. Um, well said. Well said. And then while you were talking about that too, um, on the more personal side of things, not necessarily the football front. I know he was a great footballer, but um, one post that really stuck out to me was Robertson's, where he talks about the person of Diogo Jota and just kind of like how genuine and happy and just good of a person he was. I think that really kind of made it real for me because it's one thing when you look at Diogo Jota, especially as a non-Liverpool fan, when you hear about that, you're like, wow, that's crazy. That kind of sucks. But you know, bringing up how it happened for me, because I think a lot of you probably remember where you were or what you were doing when you found out. For me, I had just woken up, and Steve, you texted our chat, and you were kind of like, "No way, man! Oh my god, kind of crazy." I thought we had signed Isaac or something, right? Like that's kind of how I thought it was. And then when you see that, you're just kind of like, "Whoa," taken aback. And it's a very sad situation, and I think I'm remembering Jota more so for the person he was. You know, it seemed like I didn't know him personally, but it seemed like from everything his teammates said and the tributes we saw at Anfield, and it's really, really remarkable um, how much respect Jota had within the squad and around the world. So, tribute to him, prayers to him, and yeah, let us know throughout the show favorite Diogo Jota moments, goals. Um, I'm sure there's some that we've forgotten about, so definitely let us know, guys. Um, Yeah, and with that, let's jump into the rest of the show, man. I think we had a lot develop over the last 2 weeks or so, especially on the transfer front. Right, no movement too much on the Darwin Nunez deal. I think that Napoli deal collapsed. But I want to start off with Konate. Let's do Konate first, and then we'll go to Diaz. Now, we had talked about before the show started Konate's deal with Madrid, quote unquote deal. When we last spoke, was that he was going to join on a free transfer next summer, right? He wanted Madrid, and that's kind of how it was going to happen. But recently, and recently meaning I saw this morning, that Madrid contacted Liverpool and asked, hey, what would you guys charge if we wanted to bring Konate in this summer, Steve? And I would like to hear what you think fair value price would be for Konate this summer if we were to sell him this summer, which I don't think happens.
30.
Really? That surprises me. I thought you were going to be much higher than that.
I think with 1 year left on his deal, I think that's what's realistic. I mean, he's certainly worth way more than that, right? But if you're going to let him go, you got to think like, okay, what's he worth for a year?
Mm-hmm.
In the grand scheme of things, like per year, what's a player worth? You think about Konate, He's probably likely to sign a 5-year deal wherever he goes, whether he renews with us or not, right? And then just divide that by the number of years and what he would cost in the market. So let's just say he cost, I don't know, 75 million. That's what he's worth. Let's just say that's what he's worth. As a center back market, it's not crazy, right? It's not like the best strikers will go for 100, 120, or the best attacking midfield players like Verts, right, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say Konate, if he had 2 years left on his deal and someone were to come in and buy him, it would probably be, I don't know, 75 million. This would be my guess. Okay. If you divide that by the number of years, and this isn't the way that everybody thinks about it, but that would be what, 15 million a year? Generally speaking, that's how I think about it. So I think like they would consider letting him go for less than 30, but I would want 30.
30. I see. I was expecting
That's how I think about it.
Yeah, because what did we end up getting him for? 35 million. It was a release clause.
35.
Yeah, 35. Okay, so I would expect to recoup that at least. I know 1 year left on the deal is a little bit concerning, and probably impacts the price a lot. But I think you'd at least want 35 or 40, especially if it's like a last minute thing. You'd want to get as much as possible. I think you have a little bit more leverage than people think if you're trying to get it last minute like that. So I think maybe 40 would be fair value for him. I see a lot of comments here. Oyvind saying he's not even that good. He looks lost without Van Dijk. All things to consider, but it might be one of those situations where he does leave and then maybe he isn't that great. You know what I mean? Steve, you got to get better with the timing, dude.
Why?
Hold on. What's the purple XP thing? It's kind of annoying. Oyvind, can you elaborate on that? I was reading that while Steven was talking. I don't know what you're talking about. But if we can address that, we absolutely will. But Liz has met a member for 55 months. Liz, 55 months. How many years is that, Steve?
Over 4.5.
4.5 years. That's remarkable. Shout out to Liz. Thank you very much. And guess who's back? Jordan Hyman in the chat as well. What's up, Jordan? How you doing, bro? Yeah, I want you guys to know. Hold on. The thing on the right of your names, some new YouTube thing. Oh, yeah, I have no idea. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I'm going to pull up the actual stream on YouTube real quick. So hold on. I'm going to mute myself.
I'm going to check it out as well. Got to get through the ads, of course.
The ads are getting out of hand. Okay, guys, I make it a point when I monetize the video, I put conservative ads because I hate watching videos where every 5 minutes there's an ad. So I'm sorry, but now I see what you guys are talking about. Oh, it's fan rating. Oh, crap. They rate you guys now. That's awesome. Oh, man.
Oh, not next to our name. It's next
Yeah,
to
I thought you meant
name.
next to our names. Okay, that's something new. I missed that email from YouTube. Okay, guys, you got to. Interesting.
Wait, I don't understand.
So Hannah today is number 1. Number 2 is Oyvind. I guess it's like they rank you based on maybe your comments throughout the show or how, I don't know, something like that. That's pretty wild.
Actually, you know what? We don't need to figure it out. Somebody in the chat, do a quick Google search and let us know what that means.
I can always figure it out after. But Tony said, "Hi guys, just had to get through the ads." Dude, it is getting out of hand. The advertisements, not just on YouTube, but everywhere, are getting out of hand. And Tony, just in case you missed it, I make sure every time to do conservative on the ads. And it's still before every video. And usually if you're live, you won't see many ads. But if you watch it back, you will. So again, sorry, guys. I apologize. But anyways, shout out to Liz again. 55 months. And then also the $2 super chat. I think it's BS because monetary. It's all about money. One thing about YouTube, though, they have surpassed Facebook and all these other social media platforms and companies in terms of ad revenue. So they've really figured it out, but at the expense of who? The customer, right? But I
don't think the ads are that bad, honestly.
You don't watch YouTube as much as myself or someone else, though.
I watch YouTube all the time.
Okay, well, If you did watch YouTube a lot, like long form content, you'd get annoyed. It's not like one or two, like the 8, 10, 15-minute videos. If you watch a lot of long form content like this, podcasts, or like reaction videos to like the trials, for example, like that's a big thing. They're every 4 minutes, dude. They're absurdly interruptive. So, anyways, Konate, 40 million, I think, is fair value. Steve says 30. And there's no world, though, where you let him go this summer. So I think Madrid inquiring about him might be a little bit of a. I think it's annoying on their part, dude. I think it's really annoying because you just got Trent from us. And now they're kind of, they're able to lure Konate away from us if we are to believe the reports. But then you're coming in after those reports have dropped and they're saying, like, hey, how much would he cost if we got him now? Isn't that a little trolling? Don't you think? It's kind of annoying.
I mean, I think I put this more so. We know what Madrid likes to do. I put this on the player. Like, didn't we? What did we offer him?
200K. Or no. Maybe we offered 200K.
Or that's what he wants.
No, I think we offered it to him.
Well, I'm reading an article right now that was today.
What's it say? Okay, what's it say?
It says he's on 80 and he's eyeing 200.
Right. So he wants 200. Okay. Wait, what did I say? We offered 200?
Yeah, you said we offered 200.
Okay, my mistake. So he wants 200. What do you think we're offering him? 150? 175? I think that's probably in the range of what we're
180
offering.
maybe.
Yeah, 180 with incentives.
I mean, just get close and just get the deal signed. Like, what's wrong with 190? He's still young-ish.
I think.
Who else are you going to get that's better?
I don't think it's about that.
You
I think
got
it's
Van
more
Dijk
so
for another couple of years.
So I think this is what it's about, dude. They value him at that amount, right? When you look at Van Dijk's extension from his prime, right? When he got that second extension, not his first contract with us, but when he got that second extension, it was up to 220, right? That's Van Dijk. Do you rate Konate at Van Dijk level?
No, but that was like 5 years ago.
Right. So hold on. So exactly. So it might be different, but if you don't rate Konate at that level, him asking for 200, that team, the contract team, is looking at that like, hell no, bro. You know what we gave Van Dijk at his extension? This is what we value you at. And Konate's probably looking at that like, look, what's Konate, 25 now? Maybe 25? I think he's probably 25, maybe even 26. Let's say 25. He's like, look, this is going to be my contract for the next 5 years. The contract I get after that, now that I'm talking about it out loud, I actually can't blame Konate for trying to push for 200 because he's not going, unless he takes another step up and can command a new contract after 2 or 3 seasons with improved terms, this is going to be his contract for the next 5 years. And once he's out of this contract, it's only going to go down from there because he's going to be 30, maybe even older if, these deals now we're seeing are 6, 7, 8 years.
I'm trying to see. I always get mixed up with the currency.
Yeah. While you look that up, I want to give Oyvind a shout out here. 49 months, 6 months behind Liz. You got to step it up, Oyvind. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. We really appreciate it. And his comment here saying, can our players just have some loyalty instead? Loyalty is dead, bro. It's not completely gone, but it is for the most part dead. And I don't think you can blame the players necessarily. I think you just have to blame the environment that sports have created. And it's not just on the players, it's on the teams too. I think there's no loyalty, and we see this a lot more with American sports, with trades and things like that. There is no loyalty left in sports because it's a business, right? I mean, and understandably so. You have to make money. You have to be wise with your money. And it's either at the expense of the player or their contract. Something's got to give. It's unfortunate. But every once in a while, you get a player that is loyal to the point where they will take a pay cut to make the team work. And a lot of times that's only the case with a cap. And so with there no cap in the Premier League or in European football, this is what happens. You have to push for the absolute most money you can get. Not only for yourself, but for your family. You have an agent to worry about. There's a lot of factors at play. And that's just the environment that the sports world has created. It's unfortunate, but it's where we're at and we have to deal with it. And regardless of the outcome, I'm completely empathetic towards whatever Konate decides to do. It sucks, but that's the environment we're in.
I just don't want to deal with another contract saga year. Like, that's what we dealt with all last year. Virgil, Mo, and Trent. It was so annoying, and it overshadowed times of the season where we should have been focused on how well we were doing. In the Champions League, like, I almost forgot we went undefeated in that first stage. And there were times where we were in first place and I just wasn't that fired up about it because there was so many rumblings in the media about these contract sagas. And I just don't want to deal with that again. So, I don't know, offer him 180. That'd make him like the third highest paid player on the team. What do you think they offered him? 150? Probably something like that.
Nah,
like the McAllister range?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. For me, when I hear 150, I think that's a little low. But
well, you got Robertson at 160, Chiesa 150, Allison 150, McAllister 150, Gravenberch 150, Nunez 140.
So probably 150. Probably 150.
Yeah.
Hold on. What if you're able to, Steve? Google that. Look up see if there's any insider information on what they offered, and we'll give Tony a shout out, who's right at 55 months. Him and Liz going strong at 55 months. Thank you so much for the support, Tony. Glad you could be here today as well. Let's see what other comments we have in here as well. Liz says 120. Gary, what's going on, man? How you doing? Hugo will be a darling of the cop, and we will get to that shortly, man. That's really exciting stuff. Mr. Wah, for the cost of another Ibu, just pay the wages. All right.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time.
And Liz gifting a membership as well. So shout out to Liz. Thank you very much, Liz. We appreciate it. I'm not sure who is a member now. I wish I could see that in StreamYard, but it's all good. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Steve.
Apparently, they're going to demand over $50 million for him to go this summer, but I don't know what the contract offer was. I do know that I'm pretty sure he had some random interview, maybe in France or somewhere, where he said that he was insulted by it or something like that.
What?
Yeah, the rumors came out that he was insulted by it, and I think he made some sort of comment. Guys, let me know. Am I tripping here? I'm pretty sure he did an interview where he was talking about the disappointment with the offer from us. Konate, that is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. If it's an insulting offer, number one, it's hard to come back from that. If you're offering contracts, and let's say they offered 120, that's pretty insulting. That's insultingly low. Let's be honest. But I think the hard part about that is you have to offer the player what you believe they're worth, like they're valued at, right? So if you look at Van Dijk, Salah, all those players, you're going to offer them the most because they clearly offer that value. But then you take a player like Allison. I think Allison's worth way more than 150. Tony said more ads. Damn, Tony.
Liz is saying 120. I think that's what she's saying the offer was. It should be at least double what he's making now, which is 70. So it should, depending on the currency you look at, it should be at least double what he's making now.
70. I legitimately can't believe he's making 70. But
it surprises me that they didn't extend him at some point. Like when you sign him and you realize like he's the real deal, like 2 years ago, you should have extended him at that point.
But that's the thing, dude. I mean, I don't think they extend players unless they have a breakout year. And if you're having a year where you're just absolutely locked in, that has traditionally been when they extend players and give them a new deal. You've earned it, right? And
I think
if
he
you're
earned it.
not, if you're just living up to the contract, then they're just going to let it run out and then maybe try to negotiate a new one with you at the end with improved terms. But if you don't earn it, I don't think you deserve it.
I think he's earned it though. You got to think like 3 years ago, he was our starting center back in the Champions League, and we went to the final or the semis. That year that Matip played all Premier League and he played all Champions League, that was years ago. And then think about what we've won since.
Mm-hmm.
We've won like 5 trophies since. He's a big part of that. Who
It's a
can
good.
you picture playing center back for us since Matip's been gone?
No, you're right. It's just Konate. I'm not. I don't think it's not a sentimental thing for me. It's more so about because I don't have the numbers in front of me. Whatever the contract says and whatever the expectations of performance are, you know, I think they use all of those as a means to justify new terms, right? Um, and of course, that's all speculation. I don't know, but to that point, if we look at Oyvind's comment here about give Gravenberch a new contract, then this is a different situation because I think giving Gravenberch 150 is honestly not what they valued him at. It's because of where he was coming from. He went to Bayern Munich and then he came to Liverpool. I think he's only getting 150 because that's the only wage that we could offer him to get him away from Bayern Munich. If we got Gravenberch from Ajax, let's say, he would be on 70K, 75K, just like Konate, right? Because you can get away with that because you're coming from a wage of whatever. He got a huge pay bump to Bayern, then he comes to us. He's going to demand at least what he was getting at Bayern, right? Maybe more, maybe a little bit of a pay cut. I think if Gravenberch was on 70K, right? Say we got him from Ajax and he was on whatever he was on. After this past season, 150 would be a justified contract for him. So I don't think you have to worry about extending Gravenberch because there's a player that's living up to that current wage. Whereas Konate, way different. Way different. I think we're probably offering him 150. Maybe the most 180. I wouldn't, if it's insulting to him, it's got to be at least, or at most, maybe 150 or so. Mr. Waugh coming in with the info here. 46 million. Who could replace Ibu this window for 46 million to start as center back for the next 5 years? I love the logic.
Nobody.
No one that
Here's the thing.
Gahey. That's what Richard's or Gary's saying here.
All right, so you're right about Gravenberch, by the way. He was on 152,000. He came to us for 150, almost
Exactly.
the exact same.
Yeah.
But the year before at Ajax, he was on 46K.
That's what I'm saying. So if we got
had
him
to
from
match that
Ajax
to get him.
Exactly.
Yep, we had to match that. For Konate, here's the thing. Historically, I think center backs make a little bit less than, attackers, right?
Sure.
With the exception of the all-time greats. The Varans, the Van Dykes. Lately, that's
saying.
what I'm thinking about. Maybe De Ligt. I think he's probably on a couple 100K. I don't know. But when you think about the market, he's not easily replaceable. And that's what a lot of the people in the chat here are saying. Because he's such an integral part, because there's not a million options to replace him that we know are going to step right in and do what he does. Now, he's not world class per se, but he can play on that level, and he can be in a world class side in the starting 11 every week, assuming he's fit. So you take all those factors into account, and you have to pay a little bit more than you might think he's worth because of how important he is. Not necessarily because of how good he is, which he is very good, but all the other factors make it so that he has leverage. He's like, all right, well, if you guys don't want to pay me what I want or even come close, then he can go to Madrid and make more, maybe not play as much, but this is his big contract, like you mentioned. He just turned 26 in May. So this 5-year deal is going to carry him through his prime, through the rest of his prime. And then I don't think his ceiling is like a Van Dijk where he's going to sign a contract worth 300 something K in his 30s. But yeah, this is a big contract for him. And if he can go to Madrid, he'd probably get more publicity, brand deals, whatever the case may be. He's going to make more money if he leaves, not just salary wise, but just across the board. But he has leverage because we don't have anybody else.
Yeah, we absolutely don't. And I don't think there is someone off the top of my head that could replace him. Now that kind of leads me into the fact that I don't think we'll sell him this summer. I don't think we need to, and I don't think we can. I think you let his contract run down, and you actually risk, or you lose him on a free because you need time to determine who is available in the market. Now, do they probably have a short list? Absolutely, they probably do. But I don't know, man. I think you're right on all the fronts you talked about. Going to Madrid, branding, exposure. I don't think Konate is a number one center back option. I think he is great next to a number one center back option. I think he's great as a rotation guy, depending on the quality of the side he's in. With us, he's our number two because we don't have a lot of depth at center back. I think he looks at what Madrid is doing, and they're you never look at Madrid as doing a rebuild, but they are kind of in a rebuild phase and have been for a few years now. And they're
Yeah, but they
still
have the best lineup of all time right now, I think.
I know. And it's crazy because
I think they have the best squad in the history of the sport right now. And that's arguable, of course.
Oh, that's
But
going to be debatable. That's a hot
to
topic
be
right
a
there.
part of that,
It's enticing, right?
you
Even
gotta think about the world-class players they have that nobody even talks about anymore.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the players that they've brought in, right? You got Mbappe, you got Vinny, you got Camavinga, you got Chouameni, you got Bellingham, right? I mean, can we talk about? Well, no, actually, no, we won't talk about it. But I was just like bringing in Rudiger from Chelsea. How great of a center back is Rudiger? Rudiger is a really, really good player. Liz says Steven is talking trash. Oh, shots fired. But I get the enticing or the pull of Madrid. I get it. That's it. That's it. We'll see what happens with Konate. And more on players leaving. Luis Diaz. We've rejected a bid from Bayern Munich, if you are to believe the latest reports of, I believe it was 68 million plus
I
add-ons
do
for
believe
Luis
that.
Diaz.
That's true.
I believe that as well. And it's interesting. I don't know. I believe in Gakpo. Am I missing someone another player who can play left wing? Florian? Right? I mean, the depth we've had at left wing for the last couple of years has been great. But I think if the price is right, you let Diaz. Diaz has been linked with a move away from Liverpool Football Club since he arrived. Literally since he got here.
He's 28 and a half. Did you know that?
Dude, no, I didn't actually. He signed the contract and he's been linked with Barcelona for 3 years. Now it's Bayern. It's remarkable.
Still Barcelona, though. Still Barcelona. They're still in. Fabrizio Romano said that they're still, he's open to leaving.
He's been open to leaving since he signed the contract.
Yeah, I know.
He's been open to leaving Liverpool since he's been at Porto. Let's put it that way. Before he even signed for Liverpool, he's like, I'm open to leaving. Trust me.
South American. They love Barca.
That's pretty wild. But
the Bayern move, I don't think that makes sense for him. I could see.
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually.
No, I don't think he would want to go there. Personally. Look at the players that play that position at Bayern. That just Mane, what'd he do there? Not a ton.
No, Mane played center forward there, didn't he? Didn't he?
Who knows? Who knows? Dude, I don't know. But I think about the attackers that have been there that have just kind of faded off. Coman, Gnabry. Mane didn't do much there.
Gnabry made a name for himself at Bayern.
Yeah, but what's he done since?
Dude, I don't know. I don't follow Bayern. I just know.
Exactly my point.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, I love Diaz as a player. I've always been a big Diaz guy. I hope he stays. I like that we're not getting reports that he's like pushing to leave, though. He's open to leaving, apparently, but he's not pushing to leave, and I like that. I think they have some decisions they need to make, the club, very soon. Because we were under the impression before this window started that Konate was going to be here, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to get another center back. Because we need another center back now. Because of Kwanzaa. Like, we need one. And we need Konate. And we need help on the left wing for obvious reasons. So, or we need a replacement of some sort, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if either of those guys are leaving this window. But I think they need to leverage, back to Konate, I think they need to leverage Van Dijk. Van Dijk's got to get in his ear. I'm sure he is. And be like, hey, man, look. Like, the keys are yours once I'm gone. Like, let's win a couple trophies together. Then I'll be out of here in a couple of years, and it's all you. You know?
I don't... Do you want to give the keys to Konate?
No, but you could just tell him that.
What? I don't know. I mean...
keys to?
We don't have anyone.
Joe Gomez?
I'm telling you right now, bro, the only person I trust with those keys is Van Dijk.
Of course.
There isn't a single person, center back wise, I would give those keys to. I just think Diaz leaving. I don't think we're in a state now either, and bear with me here, where it's, and we haven't been this entire summer when you look at the players we've bought, where we're even thinking about selling Konate and Diaz strictly to cover what we've spent. I think this, I saw it in the comments here, Rio, I can't even pronounce his last name. Like, what are the odds that we're selling Diaz to open up more consistent playing time for Gakpo and then maybe these younger guys coming up on the wing? You know, like,
the younger guys, 0%.
Right.
We're challenging for trophies. We're not West Ham. Speaking of West Ham, go ahead.
So this is what I'm thinking, right? So you have Diaz. The only way we sell him, because I don't think we want to, I think the only way we sell him is with the right price. Like, if you can get 75, 80, 85 in that range for Diaz, I honestly don't even think 75 is enough. I think I'd want at least 80 to let Diaz go. And because if you can get 80 for Diaz, bro, you look at his production, that's pretty remarkable. That's a
in
pretty
his age. He's got 2+ years left on his. He's got 3 years left on his deal.
That's a hell of a deal. You don't turn that down.
Spiteful about it. I'd be spiteful about it. Konate, oh, you want to leave? All right, we're selling you to Saudi. See ya.
What?
Yeah, sell him to Saudi for 75 million this window, and for Diaz, sell him for 100.
No, because you have to greenlight
deals like that.
Well, I know, but they have to greenlight the deal. You could get the deal done, and then the player goes, "Nah, I don't want to go."
Yeah, it's true.
No one's going to
Saudi.
Saudi.
News. I thought we'd be trimming more fat off the squad. And I love Harvey Elliott, but I thought he'd be gone already.
Me too. But I thought Harvey Elliott.
Apparently West Ham are pushing for him and Tyler Morton in like a double deal.
You know, Harvey Elliott is the player I thought would be gone first, not Kwanzaa. That's wild to me, the Kwanzaa deal. Still.
Or like Gomez or something.
No, Gomez ain't leaving. Gomez is going to retire here, bro. It's wild. It's actually wild that Gomez has been here. How old is Gomez? 27? 28?
28. Let's see.
He might be 30.
Joe Gomez.
If Joe goes, he's 28?
28.
Bro, he's been here 10 years.
He just turned 28.
He's been here 10 years, Steve. He's been here a decade. He is the definition of a squad guy, of a depth guy. Joe Gomez, if you ran a simulation, if our lives were a simulation, and they had to buy actors to fill in the squad when you went to training, Joe Gomez would be the guy that's on the treatment table just waving at you every morning. Hey, Bill. Hey. He's been there for 10 years. He hasn't done anything. Welcome.
No. Gomez has been a great servant. I
I
love
mean,
it.
yes, but it's just funny, dude. He's like, he had a breakout year. What was it, 2019 or something? 2018? He was just unstoppable. Next, maybe it was 20. It was one of those late teen years next to Van Dijk where I'm like, Joe Gomez next to Van Dijk. This is the real deal.
It was with the year we had the collar, the dark red in the collar. We
So it
went to
was
the
18,
Champions League
19,
final.
18, 19 then.
And we
And
won the Champions League that year.
we did. I just, it's crazy to me. But Joe Gomez, yeah, Liz says, Joey goes nowhere. I'm not selling
He's
Joe
on
Gomez.
$85K a week. What a savage.
Well, absolutely. And that's a new contract too. He's going into like year 3 of that.
2022.
Oh, 2022?
Yeah.
That's wild. God, time goes by so fast, dude.
Well, 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. Yeah, he's going into the third year of his extension.
Okay, so I was right. It just seems longer than that. Paulie says,
years.
don't get, no, we're not doing that again.
Blurry.
We're not doing that again. Players that will go: Diaz, Nunez, Elliott, Tsimikas, Morton.
Yeah, Paulie, when?
Yeah.
That's
what's going on? Paulie, what's going on?
I mean, the season's in less than a month, isn't it?
Bro, are we just riding into this year with a squad of 57 players? Just deep.
No, well, we've sold some.
Yeah,
Kwanzaa, Kelleher, Phillips, a couple of young guys, I think. We've moved some peeps.
We've moved.
Darwin's gone. I do think
Darwin
gone, and I think Elliott and Morton could go.
Sure.
But I don't think Diaz is going anywhere.
The thing about Elliott,
Tsimikas here. That's a yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of any links though. So what's going on?
There's the only link.
Are we just gonna have 3 starting left backs, 3 starting caliber left backs? They're all capable of starting. We've seen it.
Sure, but Tsimikas is not. Sense? No, the only thing that makes sense. We saw the Rabo link to Madrid or Atletico, and nothing since then.
That's right.
So that's done. That's dead. I think Rabo saw that deal and was like, no, I'm staying. So, but nothing, like you said, with Tsimikas. So is Tsimikas just going to be playing with the U23s the whole year because there's no chance he's going to play?
I mean,
makes no sense. And Elliott, too, when you look at Elliott, man, Elliott, the only place he is going to play or has any chance of getting any burn is on the right wing. There's so much depth in the midfield.
Unless they're keeping these guys around for the cup games because they want to challenge on all 4 or 5 fronts, whatever it is this year.
That makes sense.
I mean, Tsimikas played half the games in the Premier League last year. He played in 18 matches.
Sure. Yeah. I think those stats. Yeah, I think those stats are a little bit inflated because that takes into account you're being subbed on in the 80th minute. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's look at appearances in general then. Last year, 18, 3 in the EFL Cup, that's 21, 6 in the Champions League, that's 27. And then maybe like, I don't know, a couple cups here that weren't, or a couple things here, friendlies and shit. He's played 30 times last year.
I'm sure he's happy with that.
That's not a little.
Look, I'm sure he's happy with that. Because he came from Olympiacos where he's making $5K a week. It's probably not 5K. It's probably 10, 15, 20 at most. All right. So he's happy. He's fine. Shout out Philip. I know I haven't seen you in a while, Philip. What's going on, man? So I think the depth piece is probably the best take is you have a lot of depth, way different than, I guess, Klopp's style of it. And you can basically have a new starting lineup in every cup. We had the least amount of injuries we've had in years last season. And I'm for it. I think where my concern comes in is, are these players going to be happy? Is it going to create a little bit of animosity in the locker room? Because you have guys who are starting caliber players who are only being subbed on.
But I don't think Slot cares. I think he's strictly business. He cares either. Won't stand for any of that. Like if you express any disinterest, like he will pull you aside and whip you into shape.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Like legit. I love that.
It's different. Yeah. I think this is more of like a This is a business. This is work. We're at work. You know?
Well, on that, there was a story, a clip. Can't remember who was being interviewed, but it was the first training session for the Champions League under Klopp. Did you see this? Where he had the training session at night and the players weren't used to that. And it was like, I want to say it was Henderson. I want to say Henderson was being interviewed or maybe something like that. But anyways, the players expressed concern to Henderson. It was Henderson about, hey, why are we training at night? You know, this is tough for us. Like, you know, can you go to Klopp and say something? And Henderson goes to Klopp. He's like, hey, some of the boys have expressed like, you know, these training sessions at night are just, they're not used to it or they're not normal. And Klopp goes, who's been saying that? And he says, you know, just some of the players or whatever. And I think Klopp pressed and Henderson ended up telling him who. And Klopp said, well, you go back to them and tell them if they don't want to train at night, they can pack their bags or something like that. And no one said anything after that. So I think Klopp was still business too. I think he put on this front of like, he's super loving, but then when it got down to it, he's like legit. I think Slot is just all business. Like one issue, you're sitting for 6 months. We saw it with Kwanzaa. Hell, they sold Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa's gone. One mess up, Kwanzaa gets sold.
Seriously, like a position we need bodies, we sold him ASAP. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. And I thought Kwanzaa was unbelievable potential, dude. Really. I mean, really. Tony says it's all about depth for the competitions. We fade out towards the end of the season, so having players like Elliott and Samika still makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. I'm just not used to keeping this much depth. I mean, I don't know.
I agree with the Samikas part, and I would rather keep Elliott, but Elliott is worth something. You can get 40 million for Elliott.
At least. The way some teams are, you can finesse some teams who are desperate. Like you can get a Tottenham or a West Ham or a team like Aston Villa to pay 50 million for Elliott.
I think he's more likely to go to a side that like could fight relegation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Elliott is dumb enough to make that risk where he's like, look, I want to go to a club where I'm going to have security and a career. Like, I don't think he wants to go to a club that's going to be fighting relegation because then he might have to make a move in 1 year again. I don't think
he wants to play international. And for that, he needs to play at a bigger club that's guaranteed to be in the Premier League. But also, if he wants to play, he may have to go to like a bottom half side, Palace, something like that.
He needs to make a jump. He absolutely needs
Brighton.
to. Yeah, Brighton is a good shout. He needs to make a jump. He absolutely needs to. Hey, Shayna, what's going on? But the big news of the day, Steve, is Ekitike deal, and I've heard it pronounced several different ways. But Hugo Ekitike. Thank you. It's the emphasis on the. Say it again.
I think it's Ekitike.
Ekitike. I like that way better. Ekitike. So, in preparation for today's show, I watched a little bit of highlights of this guy. This guy reminds me of Alexander Isak, but way more technical. Way more technical. And there was a comment on the video, and sometimes you just have to read some of the comments to kind of spark what you actually feel. And this comment said that Slot is building a side that can break down a low block with Florian Wirtz, with Ekitike, players that they're not direct. And I feel like that is one of our chief complaints over the last decade, bro, is that we need players that can dribble through and around guys. We need players that have a little bit of a finesse in them. And I feel like Darwin is not that guy. And if you watch the highlights of this guy, he seems like that guy. He seems like Alexander Isak and more. Everything you see in Alex, and if you look at his injury record, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's missed like 3 games
phenomenal
in like 5 years.
Injury record. All right. And the deal, I believe, 68, 69 plus add-ons, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Depending on the currency, I think it's up to 95.
Yes, I did see that. I favorited it. Hold on.
But if you're going to sell Darwin for more than half of that, it's all good. Think about it this way. I would find it very hard to believe that Ekitike would make much more than Darwin, if more at all, on wages. Darwin, you sell him for 60, maybe to Saudi, who knows? Sell him somewhere. 50 or 60. Then your difference is you got a new player who's going to make less or about the same in wages. He's going to be more available and he's going to play better for just 20 million difference. You have to sell Darwin now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they've been trying to
And then
sell Darwin.
this deal makes so much sense. I mean, it makes sense regardless. But yeah, man.
I don't care if Darwin scored 8 goals today, bro. He's gone. I know. He apparently had a hat trick against Stoke. Wow. All right. See you later. I know I get it because I did it for a while. I was holding on to that love for Darwin, his effort, his energy, and the potential. But at a certain point, you gotta let go. See you later. Right? I mean, it just didn't work out. He's not the type of player. Guys, he can't dribble. He can't dribble, guys.
Yeah, he actually cannot dribble, which is crazy.
He can't dribble.
He needs space to do anything. Like, he can't do anything with defenders on him. He's not great at passing. His headers suck. We just look. I mean, I think this definitely cements the fact that Darwin's gone now. I am very excited about this deal. I mean, it just happened just now. But
Yeah.
like, let's just assume our striker problems are now solved. We'll see how he does, but let's just assume our striker problems are now solved. What's left, Kyle? Closing thoughts here. What is left for the summer for business? I say a center back, and then some outgoings. I think that's what I think we need. A center back, and then maybe to trim some fat off the squad, and I think we're ready to rock and roll. Maybe a left wing, depending on what happens with Diaz. But if Diaz stays, which I think he will, we have Gakpo and Diaz that can play on the left. Verts, I suppose, to some extent. Maybe we switch up the formation a little bit, but I think we need a center back, and then we can start to think about, okay, what are we going to do here this year?
So, okay. All right. I hear what you're saying. I want to give Tony some credit here for this comment because this is a good little chuckle here. Never heard that one before. So my thoughts, yes, center back. In fact, get 2. Why not get 2 center backs? Unless you have some youth players that I don't know about. I didn't know about Kwanzaa until he started playing with the senior team. So, maybe I need to do more research on that. But as far as I'm concerned, you need a center back. You need 2. All right, because if Konate's leaving, it sounds like. Right? Until there's a new development on a new contract, Konate's leaving. And even if it is next year, you buy at least 1 center back right now. Because then you're back to 4. You have Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk, and then the new guy. All right. Hell, you have 3 left backs right now. So buy more center backs. So that's number 1. Number 2, the outgoings. I haven't seen, the last link I saw was with Elliott and Dortmund. That was a while ago. I haven't seen much on the Elliott front, so maybe these will be deadline day deals or something along that. When does the team leave for their preseason tour? Are they even leaving this year? They've got to be doing something.
I have no idea.
Or training camp or something. Okay, so we'll know more based on who's brought on that. I feel like they wouldn't bring a player unless something's in the works for them leaving. So I saw Ekitike in here as a backup striker. I don't think there exists a world, guys, where you bring in a player for up to 95 million and he's a backup striker. I think the plan for Darwin was to make him the full-time striker, and it just didn't work out. And he's become a backup striker. So for those who are going to say, well, Darwin's a backup, that wasn't the plan. That's why we're trying to sell him. So Darwin's leaving. It's just a matter of where he's going. And if Diaz goes, I'm with you, Steve. I don't think Diaz leaves. I don't think you can sell him, because then you're lacking depth on left wing, I feel like. I mean, Florian and Gakpo, but that's just where I'm at. What would make me happy at the end of this window is at least one center back. And if you can get a second one, great. And I think selling Tsimikas. I think selling Tsimikas would be good, personally. Tsimikas or Elliott?
Liz said DM as well, and I know we talked about that earlier in the window, but I mean, I don't think it's the highest priority, but we always talked about we needed another one.
I don't see that.
All right, well, what if Gravenberch gets hurt?
Okay, Gravenberch, then you're stuck with Endo, right? Which, I mean, it seems everyone says Slot hates Endo, but I haven't seen a single link with Endo leaving.
I saw one a while ago.
And Endo ain't going anywhere, guys.
Endo's a cup. He's going to be a cup god this year.
Endo ain't going
Carabao, dude.
Anywhere.
He's going to be a beast in those.
Yes.
And like he can come in and help close out a game. You sub out Verts or you sub out Soboslai and you plug in another defensive-minded midfielder. Park the bus a little bit just to get the 3 points on a cold night in Stoke. I don't know. I think another DM would make sense, unless they're looking at a guy like, is Mourn a DM?
Yeah. So is Bajcetic. So is Bajcetic.
Okay.
I mean, they can. So is McAllister. I mean, McAllister could play DM too.
Could.
Here's my thing. Okay, you don't need a DM. You need a center back.
DM.
Gomez, Jesus Christ!
I feel like we could put Gomez there in a pinch, dude.
Put Gomez. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't want to talk about that. I want us to buy a center back. It's the only player we need. We need a center back. We don't need a DM.
Yeah, we actually need a center back.
We actually need a center back. And so,
what's up with Gahey? I haven't heard anything on that.
I haven't heard any movement on that in a few weeks, actually, bro. I don't know. I
think he wants to come here.
I think every player wants to come here. Apparently, Ekitike only wanted Liverpool. Apparently, Florian Wirtz only wanted Liverpool.
Smart guys.
They're very, very intelligent.
Apparently, Gahey wanted it to be a guaranteed starter. I read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true, but if Konate's here, buddy.
So here's the only thing that makes sense for Gahey to be a guaranteed starter is if Konate's sold, and then you're right back where you're at now, where you need another center back. So this will be unfolding. I'm telling you, in the next week or two, we're going to see some more movement. And I'm expecting an announcement for Ekitike here soon. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we're making moves. We're making great, high-quality signings. The best quality signings we've seen since the Allison, Van Dijk, Keita era.
Yeah, but that wasn't even all one window.
I know, but that's my point. I mean, we're seeing this all in one window.
It's great.
And Rodrigo, too. Don't even get me started, guys. Steve, thanks for being here, man. Guys, it's great to be back. Really appreciate everyone being here. And join us every Sunday here to chat the latest LFC news. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all you guys, especially our channel members. Thank you guys very much. Steve, anything else?
No, I got nothing else, man. It was nice to be back. We will talk to you guys next week.
Sounds good. Until next time, Reds. Take care.